Sorry, you just caught me licking bacon grease. On the rare mornings that my husband and I don't have to get up and go anywhere, although on Saturday mornings that's a choice, he will sometimes get up and make blueberry muffins and bacon. So I don't eat a lot of bacon, but I do eat bacon occasionally. And I just realized as the camera was coming on, I had bacon grease on my chin. So, yes. As my husband and I have been essential workers throughout this, we made the decision we are going to stay home and we are going to rest. We turned the alarms off this morning and got up when the cat stepped on our bladders. And we're not going anywhere. We're not going to see anybody. We're not doing anything. But maybe watching a little TV and taking a really good nap. And resting with the cats. In fact, I was sitting on the couch about 10 minutes ago with my 14-pound orange tabby in my lap, and she was purring, and I was just petting her, and that's my definition of heaven. Just to sit there on the couch petting a cat. So, and I'm grateful for that. But I didn't want to skip this, and like I said, I'm awake and have already had half of my breakfast. So, let's do this. And then we will get back to Thanksgiving, what have yous. We are making enchiladas. That's what we're having for Thanksgiving. It's something that is quick and easy and needs 2 people and will give us a little leftover. And not a whole lot. Alright, so, and I find it ironic that it's November 26th, and this is Thanksgiving Day in 2020, and our title for today is Companionship. I am a companion of them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. And that is Psalm 130. Oh, no, sorry. I honestly can't tell. Pretty sure that says 119:63. I need to get new glasses. I already know this. Okay. We all long for intimate relationships. We wish to feel that we are one with people. This yearning, which every normal person has, emanates from an unconscious but spiritual perception that we are all one with life itself. Where there is no sense of rejection, there will be no loneliness. I no longer reject myself. Knowing that I am one with all people in spirit, I receive everyone as a friend. I establish a close and intimate relationship with everyone I meet. Something goes out from me and becomes unified with them. I include all and exclude none. Higher than all differences is that union of the soul with its source. Beyond all differentiation, the infinite person is enshrined in the sanctuary of my own consciousness, one with all people. I enjoy this divine companionship. I embrace the infinite in everyone, and in turn am embraced by it. And from the Science of Mind text, one of the first things to do is love everybody. If you have not done this, begin to do so now. And that is from page 298 in the Science of Mind text. So, one of the things, probably the hardest thing, Rita's in here if you can't tell. one of the hardest things that science of mind asks, but one of the most amazing things that science of mind asks, is that we truly do love everybody. Now, here's the good news. You don't have to like everybody. The requirement is to love everybody. It's not to, but you don't have to like everybody. And it does make a difference. Because there are people that are just going to rub you raw. There are people that are going to aggravate you. There are people that you are just not going to get along with. And that is okay. That is okay. But you can still love them because you recognize that you and that person come from the same source. That you carry the same soul, or maybe the same spirit. We're all made of the same stuff. So while I may not care to be in the same room with you, I still love you. But when you open yourself up to that willingness to love everyone, it makes liking people a whole lot easier. It makes, when you recognize that we all came from the same source, then what we find is that it's easier to find those points in common. And when we can find those points in common, then we can find things to like about each other. Or sometimes we find those points of differences that really make that person super interesting, and it's easier to like that person. So, and that's kind of that definition that's why I like the word that Jesse uses, that we're all godlings, i.e. seedlings. We're all little seeds of a great big whole of godlings. And by using that term, we recognize, wait, no, we all came from the same source. We're all made of the same material. We all carry the same spirit. We're just little individualized centers of that spirit. And so it makes it easier to celebrate each other and to learn to like each other. I mean, the easiest way to learn to like somebody is to get to know them. And the easiest way to get to know them is to be willing to approach them. And the easiest way to be willing to approach them is to love them as a child of God. Okay. I have a degree in anthropology. I absolutely love people. I love hearing stories. But I'm also an introvert. So it's like, I can keep people at arm's length sometimes. But I always want to hear you. I always, even if you're not somebody that I particularly care for, I don't care for some of the things you do. I still want to hear your story. I want to know why you are the way you are. Because if I can understand why you are the way you are, then I can find those points to like, and then I can come to a deeper understanding of you. I always care for people. I guess I shouldn't use that word. I don't care for. But it's hard to say I don't like somebody. It's like, I would just prefer not to be around some people. I'm going to have to think about my own language there. It's interesting. All right. And honestly, with that Bible quote, I don't know what to do with that. I don't. That's one where I would suggest going and looking up the context before. Reverend Norm gave us absolutely the best advice in dealing with Bible quotes. Is when people throw a quote at you, go read the line before and the line after. Because frequently we take Bible quotes out of context and they don't mean what they think we mean. I'm going to quote The Princess Bride at you. I do not think that means what you think it means. So I have no idea on that Bible quote. I would suggest looking up the context. Okay, but it's true. As an anthropologist, I can tell you that first line, we all long for intimate relationships. We wish to feel that we are one with people. We, as an anthropologist, as an archaeologist, we are wired that way. Literally, our brains are wired to be social creatures. And that is one of the reasons why this this year has been so hard for so many people, because especially for our extroverts, where they get their energy from being around other people. And because we've never been taught to be comfortable with ourselves. I think that's one of the graces of being an introvert, is that introverts, as a general rule, enjoy, and I'm going to say some, not all, but some, silence, alone time, because I think that on some level, introverts don't really feel alone when they're in their quiet space. I did, as an introvert, have to learn to be comfortable with myself and my thoughts. That was a lesson that I had to learn. I had to learn that I was okay. I will use that word. I used to always have either the TV going or music going in the background, and even at work, because I work in a store by myself frequently. When there aren't customers in the store, the silence can get grating on you, and so I enjoy having we have Pandora, and I've got it programmed so it plays like Simon and Garfunkel and Josh Groban, and uplifting and beautiful voices, so that I'm not alone, because I love silence. But it wasn't until the first year in through my first year in ministry school that I actually learned to appreciate silence. I like being alone, but I still needed a companion, i.e. some other human voices. And sometimes that's what it takes. So, you learn to be comfortable with yourself, and then once you're more comfortable with yourself, you will be more comfortable with other people. I think that's what my experience says, and I don't know that that's where I was going. Point being, we are social creatures. We are wired. There is something within our brains, I mean, you can look it up, where our brains respond to human voices. That's why, even for introverts, we like having music and TV and things like that. So we all long for intimate relationships. We wish to feel that we are one with people, and that is one of the key underpinnings of the science of mind teaching. We are one with all people. This yearning, which every normal person has, emanates from an unconscious but spiritual perception that we are all one with life itself. Because at some level, we recognize we all have the same source. And science of mind teaches us that source, and science of mind teaches us to bring that yearning, that perception, to a conscious level, so that we can celebrate our differences as well as those points that we have in common. Where there is no sense of rejection, there will be no loneliness. That kind of is a very important line. Because that's where it is about being alone with yourself. If you're not comfortable with yourself, then that can feel like a rejection. Oh, thank you, Michael. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. If you're not comfortable with yourself, it can feel like a rejection. And so I would say that the first step on that path is to become comfortable with yourself, to learn to love yourself. That's one of the reasons why frequently I will say, look in the mirror and see Spirit looking back at you, see God looking back at you, and recognize that that's where you come from. You are worthy. And because I think that's what it was, is that first year in ministerial school, that's what I had to do. I mean, I did a lot of that work in practitioner training. That first year of practitioner training, you spend it all in your own head. Just a fair warning if you decide to go into practitioner training. You spend that first year in your head. You learn more about yourself than you thought was possible. And then in the second year, then you learn to serve other people. But you got to know yourself pretty well before you can serve other people as a practitioner, hence the training. And then in ministerial school, God, when I showed up at that first all-conference retreat with 125 of my new best friends, and every blessed one of them wanted to hug me, that took something. And that's where I got it. I was like, oh, okay. I'm okay. I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of care. And I'm worthy just because I'm me. Not because of what I do. Not because I'm a practitioner. Not because I'm a minister. Not because I'm an anthropologist. Not because I'm a functioning adult with a job. I'm worthy simply because I exist. And so that is the gift that I want everybody to learn. We all come from the same source. We are all godlings. We are all worthy of love, of care, and we are most worthy of the love of self. And when we learn that, when there is no sense of rejection, there will be no loneliness. When we give up that great accountant in the sky and recognize that God, Spirit, Amen, whatever you want to call creation, we recognize that we are an integral part of that we are a seedling within the great consciousness, then we're okay. Then we learn to love ourselves. And when we learn to love ourselves, it's easier to love other people, even when we don't like them. So I no longer reject myself, knowing that I am one with all people in spirit. I receive everyone as a friend. I establish a close and intimate relationship with everyone I meet. Now, he says that. That doesn't mean to give out your bank pin to everyone you meet. It means to recognize the God within them and to treat them as such, to treat them as the sacred being that they are. And if they cannot reciprocate and treat you as the sacred being that you are, that's not about you. That is about them. And you are welcome to treat them as a sacred being from a distance. Because how you treat other people is about you. How other people treat you, that's about them. And you are welcome to let that go. So, I establish a close and intimate relationship with everyone I meet. We're talking on a spiritual level. If someone is not physically safe to be around, then don't be around them. Something goes out from me and becomes unified with them. That is you recognizing y'all are from the same source. Ooh, my southern just came out. You recognize it. What is it? Jove nods to Jove. It's something Reverend Jesse quotes fairly frequently. Jove nods to Jove. And that's also namaste. The spirit within me recognizes the spirit within you. We recognize that we came from the same source, that we are, and we're going back to the same home. We are just here to have an experience. I include all and exclude none. Higher than all differences is the union of the soul with its source. Beyond all differentiation, the infinite person is enshrined in the sanctuary of our own consciousness. The infinite person is enshrined in the sanctuary of my own consciousness. And immediately what I saw was just kind of this line of people. It's just completely ridiculous because that's not the way this works. But it's like there's this one glowing light, and then stretching out from that glowing light are all of the multitudes of amazingly different people. In both directions, but now if I'm gonna really visualize it, it would be in all directions. And suddenly, whoo! Oh, that gets really, yeah. Make that image 3D for yourself. Woof. Okay. I have a vivid imagination, and so, yeah, that's really cool. I wish that I could. There's no way for me to draw that golden light, and then it started out with people, and then I kind of spread them out on one plane, and then I tried to make it 3D, so globy. Yeah. I'm silly, and I own it. So, the infinite person is enshrined in the sanctuary of our own consciousness. One with all people, we enjoy this divine companionship. Sometimes that's the only way to be with people, is in that divine companionship. Because physical differences separate you. Time separates you. This would be, that divine companionship would be the way that I would say that we are with people who are no longer with us. It's been that year. I embrace the infinite in everyone, and in turn am embraced by it. And I think that may be it. That's kind of that last line. If we embrace the infinite in everyone, conscious or not, in that person, that infinite is going to embrace us. It's like you give what you get. No, sorry, you get what you give. If you embrace the infinite in another person, whether they're conscious of it or not, on some level they're going to embrace you back. And that's really cool. That's really cool. So, that's where Ernest says, one of the first things to do is love everybody. If you have not done this, begin to do so at once. Yep. And Thanksgiving is an excellent day to do that. And you can do it from the safety of your own home. You can absolutely love everybody from the safety of your own home. But you can also do it just by walking out on the street where you meet these people and you look up at them and you look in their eyes. And I would say you smile at them, but we're all wearing masks. So, you still smile at them behind your mask. They just may not know it. And when you do that, you look at them and you say, I see the spirit in you and I love you. To absolutely everyone. Whether you like them or not, whether you know them or not. And therein lies you recognizing the spirit within them. And by doing it, you are opening the space for them to recognize it within themselves, even if you don't say anything to them. So, our mission, should we choose to accept it today, I mean, Ernest gave it to us, right there in the last line from the textbook, is to love everybody. To love everybody. In the way that makes the most sense to you. So, or what, as Jesse would say, give them free passage through your head. Give them free passage through your head. Especially those people that you don't really, you prefer not to be around. Give them free passage through your head. That's how you love everybody. All right. I'm going to go get on with my day of rest. The only plan I have is I plan to go to the park and play with the squirrels. We're just trying to figure out the timing on that. So do whatever it is that will make today a wonderful day for you, a fantastic day for you, and be safe. Be safe. Take your precautions. We are all spirit, but we do have a responsibility to take care of the mortal coil that carries the spirit in us around. All right, beloveds. Reverend David will be on sometime around 5 today, although with it being Thanksgiving, no promises on what time he will be on, but I'm pretty sure he will. It's Thanksgiving. He's not going to miss that. I'm sure the daily reading today is pretty awesome. And I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Oh, Black Friday. So, have a happy Thanksgiving. And know that you are a beloved child of God in whom Spirit is well pleased. So do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Every day, because you deserve it. All right, beloveds?